Guangdong, a marginal province of China, is not the ideal place for Reverend Harper's Christian college. But the desire of people changed all of this. The location of college, the purpose of education, the education in China, and most importantly, the whole Chinese society. The evolution of Lingnan curriculum promotes the courage of people that could change the history, which espoused the ideological revolution in education. Countless upheavals have taken place throughout time in China. However, the purpose of education for service never changes. The college aimed at education for service even before its formal birth. As the president in Israel, potential curriculum included science, theology, and medical science. It seemed impractical to set undergraduate curriculum at the first stage of school development. Thus, there were only preparatory courses in the very beginning. A projection in 1885 had already erected various learning levels: commit, memorize, explain, exposition, and composition. Classes begin during Chinese New Year in 1888. 30 youngsters were instructed in terms of English, and later they had to work 6 days a week, 6 hours a day. Several Chinese taught Chinese classics, including Zuozhuan and the Book of Writs, considering the imperial examination as the core of Chinese education at that time. In 1893, under cooperation with Peiying College, there came systematic theology, science, and engineering. Poor health of the Harper couple stopped the courses until 1894, when a massive failure shocked China. The humiliating loss of First Sino-Japanese War stimulated the 100-day reform in 1898. To save the country with Western ideas became popular. After being independent from churches, the new principal, Mr. Wisner, gave all English and science courses single-handed since 1899. A pupil but disciple of Kang Youwei also engaged to teach Chinese classics. There were morning prayers and a Sunday Bible class. In March 1900, a Chinese teacher in charge of Chinese classics, Zhong Wenguang, joined. The Boxers' Rebellion, as well as the failure assassination by alumni Shi Jianru, brought uncertainty to the college. Under worries about anti-foreign damage, the college moved to Macau, where English teaching manners and English thinking gradually consolidated by daily 5-hour English-only time, which ensured students' capability of higher-level learning. Expansion of the curriculum, like physical training, was also remarkable. In 1905, abolishment of imperial examination finally took place. Canton Christian College further reinforced its primary developing goal with the trend. The university dream of Harper came true in 1907, as a freshman was admitted. Meanwhile, a godliness George Wademan Graff stated the growth of Agriculture College, but construction of the Agriculture College wasn't realized until the 1910s. University section became more independent from the secondary, with only freshman and sophomore classes like medieval history, British history, English, chemistry, translation, and Christianity. Since China's sinking under the Boxer Protocol, students like Chan Xiu Pak, a leader in Xinzhonghui, was part of the revolution which fostered the republic. In 1912, the college received the visit of Sun Yat-sen, who gave a speech about knowledge for saving the country. It also received orders from the Ministry of Education in Peking that start of an academic year should follow the American habit in September but March. The other order was its Chinese name, revised from Lingnan Hotang to Lingnan Hohao. The political struggle between the Nationalist Party and Yuan Shikai worsened the post-revolution decade. The students were naturally sympathetic with Kuomintang, which relied on support from Canton. 1918 was an important year for Canton Christian College. In the 1919 course list, all students still have 8 credits in theology as compulsory. There was still a system of arts and science, natural science, agriculture, and sociology department. Arts was the most mature one. In Zhongwen-Guangsville, agriculture was where Lingnan could make the greatest contribution to Chinese economic life as a vital part of Chinese development. A small agricultural college with several agriculture, agricultural management, and sericulture courses was eventually realized, along with a cooperatively run preparatory curriculum of medicine and agriculture with outside institutions. From 1921, the college already owned a full-fledged College of Agriculture to train farm managers, extension workers, and agricultural teachers. 2 students graduated with a certificate of agriculture. Alongside the decades-long process, agriculture became a symbolic department of Lingnan due to its innovative cooperation with others, which directly conveyed students to serve the society. 3 university students graduated. In the following year, American universities like Harvard and Yale recognized the quality of Lingnan graduates for postgraduate study, which indicated the capability of a mature Lingnan college. Canton Christian College was protected from war by the Western Church and had relatively stable economic resources, which provided a good basis for its development. In 1921, Canton Christian College Agriculture Department became independent from the Arts and Science departments, and the school took on the scale of comprehensive university. However, the non-Christian movement, which began in 1922, caused a radical change in the school's administrative structure and the academic structure. The non-Christian movement made the Chinese Academy at that time resent imperialist use of religion for cultural aggression against China. The conference provoked a wave of opposition in Chinese society. The curriculum of Guangzhou Christian College changed after this moment. Prior to the movement, the structure of the church's university curriculum emphasized mathematics and religion, English, and natural sciences. Religion courses were offered as required subjects at the university. The curriculum was Christian in spirit, with religious education as the core. After the movement, religious education has been changed from a required course to an elective course, and the content of the religious curriculum was focused on the rational study of religious education rather than on missionary means. The consciousness of serving the society increased, and the universities offered vocational courses according to the actual needs of the society and the characteristics of regional economic life. The academic structure of church universities moved from Christianity to secularism and normalization, reflecting the spirit of service to Chinese society. Canton Christian College established departments of sericulture and agriculture, working to improve the quality of Chinese silk, researching the success of multi-spike rice, and improving many new varieties of fruit trees, contributing to the development of new agriculture in Guangdong province. The Department of Silkworm was an important part of Agriculture Division of Lingnan University. In accordance with the Guangdong government's request to delineate the scope of agriculture research in the province, the Silkworm Division was incorporated into the Lingnan Agricultural University with Graf as its president. The development of the Silkworm section reflects the efforts of the Chinese who are committed to the Sinicization of Lingnan University. Chong and other Chinese took the development of agriculture as the first choice to realize the Sinicization, believing that regional specialization could contribute to the development of China's economy. It also reflects Lingnan University's commitment to unite service to God and service to society after the non-Christian movement, and to externalize the Christian spirit into a secular spirit to serve Chinese society. In April 1924, the movement of regaining the educational right began as an important part of the National Revolution. During the revolutionary period, the Shaji tragedy of 1925 happened, led to a deepening of antipathy toward Western countries and church schools. The Guangzhou Church School participated in the patriotic trend, and Canton Christian College participated in anti-imperialist demonstrations and strikes. In 1927, the workers' strike forced Lingnan University to suspend classes for several months, and most students left the university. In the same year, Lingnan University was reclaimed, and Mr. Chong Wing-guang became the president of the university, thus bringing Lingnan into a new stage of history. On the unforgettable day of August 1st in 1927, the new Chinese leadership team took over Lingnan University's affairs from foreigners. Chong Wing-guang was appointed as the principal of Lingnan University, which symbolized Lingnan entering a new historical stage. Due to the Ministry of Education's emphasis, no religious subjects were mandatory. Additionally, in the aftermath of turbulence and the new government established in Nanjing, the society was relatively stable, the appeals of practical courses raised up. Chong shifted attention to expand, reorient, and emphasize on practical course curriculum such as agriculture, commercial science, engineering, and medicine to content practical needs in China. To cultivate agricultural talents and improve agricultural quality in southern China, Lingnan University attached great importance to agricultural education. Plant pathology was added to the College of Agriculture, while further expanded including the main crops of China and Guangdong, in line with the actual food provision in China. By 1937, the College of Agriculture had 54 specialized courses. Lingnan University offered practical courses in business, such as labor legislation, business law, and economics of transportation to meet the demand for the development of international trade in Guangdong region. Another practical curriculum area that Chong expanded was medical education in Sun Yat-sen Medicine College, where he settled 5 departments to cope with practical needs from Chinese people. At this time, the national government at Nanjing had strengthened its organization and established a new Ministry of Railways. Lingnan University secured the support of the Ministry of Railways to form the School of Engineering. Due to the practical demand for infrastructure, Lingnan provided water power engineering, reinforced concrete building, and so on. Courses were closely connected to China in all disciplines under the instructions of Chong. For instance, from 29 required courses in Chinese literature to 42 required courses of Chinese literature. These courses reviewed educational objectives that Lingnan not only hammered at practical issues, but also committed to raise practical capability to cope with China's plight by Chong. The academic community granted great recognition and praise to Principal Chong with his initiative at this moment. With development of academic competence, postgraduate courses were instructed from 1931. Until 1937, Lingnan University had grown as a comprehensive university with preliminary, undergraduate, and postgraduate education. In 1937, the War of Resistance against Japan broke out. China was in crisis. Mr. Zhu Yougang, the provost of Lingnan University, claimed that the university should make academic contributions to society and the country to help the resistance war. Out of the need to save the country, Lingnan University still recruited students during the wartime and offered courses on anti-Japanese war and national salvation to meet the national needs to win the war, and aims to improve students' national consciousness and cultivate students' patriotic concept. These courses included chemical warfare, aeromechanics, wartime radio application, military engineering, military rescue, public international law in wartime, Japanese politics, etc. These courses were closely linked to national defense and aimed to improve the Chinese military weapon level from a scientific perspective, and also educated students from the international politics aspect, which acquainted the students with international situation of using external forces to help China win the war. Besides these special optional courses, other majors changed their study direction during the wartime. For example, Department of Chinese Literature changed their study from Chinese traditional culture to research on anti-Japanese war literature and national literature. The Department of History and Politics paid attention to studies in international relations. Apart from that, at that time, in order to inspire the morale of the school and cultivate students' patriotism, Lingnan University responded positively to the instruction which raised by Ministry of Education in 1940. After the World War II, Lingnan University was back on track. In 1948, Chen Shujing was the president of the university. Soon, the Civil War started to break out. Despite the communists expanding to the south, Chen still decided to continue school activities. In the autumn of 1949, there were still nearly 1,200 students studying in the semester. At that time, Chen faced both political turbulence and evaluation, but he still operated the school well and started off policy to develop the academy. Chen invited many famous scholars to teach in Lingnan University, who went to Guangzhou, Hong Kong, and Taiwan from the north with less faith in Communist Party. In the late half of 1949, there were 26 full-time scholars hired. After increasing the staff, Chen expanded the Faculty of Medicine, reorganized the Faculty of Business, and added more majors to students. The academic atmosphere reached another height during that time. After the establishment of the new government, they started promoting the new policies. According to their educational policy, every student in the new semester must learn the new democracy lesson and Marxist political economics lesson. Some courses in economics changed to cater to the government's ideas of economics. This time, education was strongly linked with politics, so that every student could learn communism and hope to contribute and promote the ideas in the future. Though the relationship between Chinese and Westerners on campus remained friendly under the communist government, the situation turned over completely after the outbreak of the Korean War. The hatred towards the Americans worsened, and they were labeled as imperialists. American professors soon left the campus and went back to their country. Since the establishment of Lingnan University, there had been many professors with different cultural backgrounds teaching on the campus. The cultural diversity on the campus and the connection between the school and American trustees were limited for the first time. In 1952, to comply with the policy of the government, Lingnan University stopped operating, and its faculties merged with other universities. Though it came to an end, the history of Lingnan University remained remarkable.